So if there was one lens you could leave on your Sony APS-C camera, what would it be? Would it be just this basic kit lens? I don't know, we'll soon find out. What's up my friends? My name's Jason Morris. Today we are going to talk about the Sony A7III f4 OSS. Will this lens be the lens that you'll always have attached to your APS-C camera? Also, does it work on your full frame camera? I'll show you some sample images of what it looks like attached to my A7III. I'll also be testing out the sharpness and obviously the image quality and vignetting and all that kind of stuff as well on the APS-C camera. So anyway, let's get into the review. So guys, just a quick shout out to LUKCY straps. They are a Victorian brand here in Australia. I got a nice custom strap, as you can see here, got my name on there. It is a nice tan leather with a white leather on the back, or a creamy leather. They are absolutely fantastic. I bought this myself, so I'm not sponsored, affiliated with this brand at all. I just think they produce some pretty quality products. So yeah, go check them out. Link is in the description below. See what you think. So anyway, if you can handle the size of this lens, this will make for better looking photos than the Zeiss lens. Yes, I said it. This is a very handy lens, but it's slightly on the big side. One will ask if it makes sense to carry around this lens because it's big and it's quite heavy, and the whole point of mirrorless is that smaller size. So with this lens, you lose so many points with having the mirrors in the first place. But obviously the 16 to 50 is much more smaller, but it's definitely not as good, and it doesn't have that focal range. So it has an electronic manual focus ring. If it's activated in the camera's menu system, you can allow obviously the manual focus. But what makes this lens exciting is that it focuses very fast and it covers such an extremely useful range. It's more than enough lens to bring, you know, on any sort of like around the world trip or any kind of traveling trip. It's absolutely fantastic focal range, the 18 to 105. It is a really fast video focusing lens, and we'll definitely test that. I'll show you some videos right now. So here we are at 18mm at f4, and you can see it stays in focus pretty much the whole time there, tracking it quite nicely. This is paired up with the A6000, popping in and out of frame. There you go. It's really fast focusing. And we'll go to 50mm. We'll see if it can track backwards. It does a very good job of tracking right there, popping out and back in. Real fast focus there at f4. Now over to 105mm here at f4. We'll watch the tracking, and it tracks very well. Popping out of frame and back into frame, and very fast focus there. Very well done. So the 18-105 has a built-in stabilizer, OSS. That lens gets sharp shots handheld in low light, and it's really good for video work and will work really well with a gimbal, specifically because it has a zoom range inside the internals of the lens, so it doesn't extend past the same size, past the standard size of the lens. So it's really good for gimbals and obviously steady cams. You won't have to rebalance it. So now let's take a quick peek at the image quality of this lens. All right, so we're in at 18mm at f4, and you can see there's a lot of barrel distortion and the vignetting as well. And we'll just click on the profile corrections, and you can see the vignetting's gone. Now it's straightened up. We'll zoom into the center, and it's very sharp in the center, coming out to the sides, and you can see it's very soft at the sides. And we'll stop it down to 5.6. We'll go into the center, and it's very sharp in the center once again. Nice contrast will come out to the sides, and it's still a little bit soft, but the contrast has popped up a little bit more. And we'll go down to f8 in the center. It seems like it's reached its peak sharpness in the center, and on the outside, it's only a little bit better. It's still a little bit soft there. Now you can see at 50 millimeters, we're at f4. There is a bit of pin cushioning there. Put the profile corrections on and that straightens it up. In the center, it's relatively sharp. Coming out to the outside, and it's still a little bit soft there. You can see it's still not too bad contrast though. Stopping it down to 5.6, we'll have a look into the center, and it's very sharp in the center there at 5.6, and on the outside, once again, it's still not too great on the corner there. We'll stop it down to f8, and we'll see what it looks like in the center there. It's very sharp in the center, nice contrast. Coming out to the outsides, and it seems like it's sharpened up a little bit more there, and still nice contrast as well. And at 105 millimeters at f4, once again, still pin cushioning, put that profile corrections on, and it makes it nice and straight. It's nice and sharp in the middle at f4, that's good. Decent contrast coming out to the sides, and it's quite soft again on the outside corners. We'll stop it down to 5.6 in the center, and that's very sharp there. Yeah, very nice contrast, it's very good. Out into the corner, and once again, it's still a little bit soft, but it has sharpened up a little bit. Stopping it down to f8 at that 105 millimeters, and it seems like it's reached its peak sharpness, good contrast, and on the outsides, it's not too bad there at f8 on the corners. Stopping it down to f22, and you'll see there it starts to lose a little bit of the sharpness due to diffraction on, but the actual corners actually seem quite sharp there at f22. Now, some people want to know, can you use this lens on a full frame camera? Well, yeah, you can pretty much use almost any APS-C Sony lens on your full frame camera. But will it perform just as good? Yeah, we'll see. Using an APS-C designed lens, you'll definitely get optimal results. But if you're using an APS-C lens on a full frame camera, you'll get extremely heavy vignetting, obviously due to the smaller form factor that it's designed for. So here's some footage to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so at 18 millimeters at f4, you can see this is on my A7 III full frame. And very heavy vignetting. I'll zoom into 50 millimeters, still at f4, and vignetting has changed a little bit, but not too much. It's still extremely heavy. You can see the optical stability shot or optical steady shot working very well there. Zooming into 105 millimeters now at f4. So this is on the full frame camera. You can still see there's vignetting here in the corners. Quite heavy at the moment there. So just in full frame crop mode on the A7 III at 18 millimeters, zooming into 50 millimeters, zooming into 85 millimeters. Very nice bokeh there, extremely blurry background. And then I'll test it at 105 millimeters. It gets quite close there, but really heavy background blur. Really nice bokeh. And these are some shots at 18 millimeters. You can see the vignetting there. 35 millimeters, vignetting starts to go back a little bit more from the corners. 50 millimeters, same thing again, quite heavy vignetting. 85 millimeters, just a little bit in the corners there. We go to 105 millimeters. It obviously gets a little bit better as you zoom out, and this is in full frame crop mode here. So placing your full frame camera in crop mode will still work and is still fairly decent. Just keep in mind that your focal range will change by that 1.5 crop, which makes this lens a 27 to a 157 focal range. I think so, yeah, anyway. So this lens is probably one of the most versatile lenses for the price for your APS-C Sony camera. I definitely recommend this lens if you're into travel photography, street photography, or even some functions. You could even use it for some basic portrait shots as well. The only small downside to this lens is the relatively slow f4 aperture. So it isn't really good under that low light, but it still offers great depth of field. So that's it from me, guys. Please smash that like button if you could. Comment below if you have this lens and your thoughts on it. Just let me know, or let anyone else know what you've had with this, your experience with this lens. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. My name's Jason Morris, and I'll see you guys in the next one.